Hello everyone, this is Olivia and welcome back to my channel. I normally teach everyday English on my channel in Korean. I wanted to make this video since it's application season for UC schools and universities in general. Last time I talked about the 5 quick tips on how to write your UC essays and other college personal statement essays. And if you missed that, I'll link that up on top. Now I'll take a quick deep dive into each prompt of the UC essays, and I'll start with the transfer essay. I decided to start with the transfer essays because they are my expertise, and I was a transfer student as well. I know that the transfer essay is the required prompt for all transfer students, so I thought it would be a good idea to start with the required essay. I'm going to read the intro and the conclusion of my students' essays, and I'll give you general tips on how to construct these essays. I'm going to read the intros and conclusion for my student essays to keep their privacy, but also I think the intro and conclusion are the most important parts of the essay. And before we get into the transfer essay prompt, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and I'll be going through all of the UC prompts in detail, so please subscribe for more of those videos. And if you're interested in some of my essay consulting services, please email me at the email address down below. Now, let's get started. So I'm going to start by reading the prompts and reading my students' intros and conclusions. This is the required question. Please describe how you have prepared for your intended major, including your readiness to succeed in your upper division courses once you enroll at the university. On the website, it has some things to consider. These are tips to help you write your essay and some questions for you to think about when you're writing these essays. So, how did your interest in your major develop? Do you have any experiences related to your major outside the classroom, such as volunteer work, internships, and employment, or participation in student organizations and activities? If you haven't had experience in the field, consider including experience in the classroom. This may include working with faculty or doing research projects. If you're applying to multiple campuses with a different major at each campus, this is a good point. Think about approaching the topic from a broader perspective, or find a common thread among the majors you've chosen. So if you're applying at, let's say, UC Berkeley with the political science major, but you're applying to UCLA with, international studies, then I would somehow link poli-sci major and the international studies in one essay, so you're not super specific just to one of those majors because you want to get into UCLA and Berkeley. When you are applying for different majors, you are applying to multiple campuses with the same essays, so keep that in mind. So the first essay, it was somebody who was going to be a business major. So the intro. As a child, I always looked up to my father. He was always hard at work, planning meetings, writing business plans, and practicing presentations. I always wanted to follow in his footsteps as a strategic and bold entrepreneur. Even though he never officially went to business school, he advised me to study business, economics, and accounting in order to be successful. In the conclusion, because of my experiences in college, I am even more excited to continue my education in business through upper division courses. I'm confident that my education in business will be a good foundation for success in my future career. When I graduate from university, I will carry on my father's exceptional business legacy and continue to make him proud. So this essay was good. It showed that he got interested in the business major because of his father, and in the intro he kind of already showed what kind of classes that he was enrolled in, like business, economics, and accounting. And he told in the conclusion what his final goal is to be a businessman, and he brought it back to his father's story and saying at the end that he wants to continue to make him proud. My next student's essay was a psychology major. As a young child, I did not have many friends. Instead of playing with other kids my age, I loved spending time reading with my mom in our home library. As a professor of literature and Russian, my mother really encouraged my love of reading. Reading through hundreds of books in our home library, I gravitated towards books about self-development, philosophy, and psychology. With my mother's encouragement in my education, I had a chance to study psychology inside and outside of the classroom. So that thesis shows that she's going to talk about studying psychology in and outside of the classroom. I'll talk about organization of the essay after I read these essays. And the conclusion. Although I started out as a shy girl without many friends, she tied it back to the intro, my experiences learning inside and outside of the classroom developed a passion within me to counsel others. Advancing this education at the University of California will further my reach in the world and help me to be a counseling advocate for those in need. She also tied it back to the intro, saying that even though she was shy, now she is going to take these upper division courses and she wants to expand her reach in the world. The next one, so this one, my student was two different majors. He was cognitive science at UCLA, which is under the psychology umbrella, and nutrition major. So that's a little bit different. Let's see what he wrote. This is his intro. The smell of the fresh cut grass, the roaring sound of the crowd, and the sight of the goal post all awakened my senses during my weekly high school soccer games. During one particular game, I collided with another player and injured my knees. I was not allowed to play until I went to see a physical therapist for a few weeks, and my world came crumbling down. I didn't know then that my physical therapy experience would ignite my passion to pursue studies in psychology, cognitive science, and nutrition. So in that thesis, he put in all of the different majors that he was applying to at the different UCs. So he was applying for psychology in some, cognitive science in UCLA, and nutrition in some campuses. The conclusion: after experiencing the emotional transformations firsthand, I am convinced that healing is not the only responsibility of a physical therapist. There is also the duty to reduce the negative emotional impact that an injury can cause. Therefore, my goal is to dive deeper into subjects like cognitive science, psychology, and nutrition in my upper division courses to provide holistic care for my future patients. I want to help others get back to doing the things they love, just as my skilled physical therapist helped me to return to soccer. So he tied it back also to soccer. His future goal with the study of nutrition or cognitive science or psychology was to be a physical therapist. And so he weaved that into his whole story. And he linked all of those different majors together to show that he wants to be a holistic physical therapist. That was a really good way to join multiple majors together. So that is all of my examples. I wanted to next talk about the tips for how to organize this essay. So when I applied at the UCs, it was many years ago and the prompts were different, but this transfer prompt was always the same and it was always required. So I had 500 words to write this essay, so I had 5 paragraphs, but in 350 words, I think we can only write 4 short paragraphs. So how I would organize this essay: the first paragraph is your intro. In my previous video, I talked really quickly about a short outline that we can write for some of these essays, but I'll just go deeper in this essay and be more specific towards the transfer essay. The first paragraph, we want to put a hook, like a story. And that story should be something that is related to how you got interested in the major or something that was very impactful to make you want to study more of that major. Next, you need to state your major, like what major are you going to talk about, and that should be in your thesis statement. And in the last sentence of your first paragraph, I like to give a short intro on the kind of organization that you're going to have in your essay. And I like to show that your interest in the major was not only inside of the classroom, like at school with the courses that you took, but also outside of the classroom, like during your work or extracurricular activities or your volunteer experience. So it's important to show that you are well-rounded and that you are well prepared for your major inside and outside of the classroom. And in the second paragraph, I like to focus on the academic aspect and how you prepared for that major in your schoolwork. And then the third paragraph, I focus on the things outside of class, such as volunteer work, working part-time, or any of your extracurricular activities. In your conclusion, you should show how you developed over the years in college and in high school to prepare for your major. And also look forward and look into a brighter future about how you're going to take what you learn in university and apply it to your dream job. I think the UCs like to see that their students are going to become these great people in society after they graduate. So show them a picture of what that will look like. I hope these tips were helpful, and if you liked this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos as I will dive deeper into the UC essay prompts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!